A Builder's Lesson by John Boyle O'Reilly. How shall I a habit break, as you did that habit make? As together you must lose, as you yielded now refuse. Thread by thread the strands we twist, till the binder's neck and wrist. Thread by thread the patient hand must untwine, ere free we stand. As you build it stone by stone, we must toil unhelped, alone, till the wall is overthrown. Remember, as we try, lighter every test goes by. Wading in, the stream grows deep, toward the center's downward sweep. Backward turn, each step ashore, shallow as then that before. Ever precious years we waste, living what we raised in haste, doing what must be undone, a content or laugh be won. First across the gulf we cast kite-borne threads, till lines are passed, and habit builds the bridge at last. A Disappointment, John Boyle O'Reilly. Her hair was waving bronze, the eyes deep welts that might cover a brooding soul. Who, till he waited it, could ever surmise that her heart was a sinner instead of a coal? A Kiss by John Boyle O'Reilly. Love's a plant with double root, and of strange elastic power. Men's minds are divided, and naming the fruit, but a kiss is only the flower. A Man by John Boyle O'Reilly. A man is not the slave of circumstance, or need to be, but builder and dictator. He makes his own events, not time, not chance. The logic his, not creature, but creator. A Passage by John Boyle O'Reilly. A world was made when a man was born. He must taste for himself the forbidden springs. He can never take warning from old-fashioned things. He must fight as a boy, he must drink as a youth. He must kiss, he must love, he must swear to the truth. The friend of his soul, he must laugh to scorn, to hint of deceit in a woman's eyes, that are clear as the words of paradise. And so goes on, until the world grows old. His tongue is grown cautious, his heart is grown cold. If a smile leaves his mouth, and a ring leaves his laugh, and he shirks the bright headache you ask him to quaff. He grows formal with man, with woman polite, distrustful of both, and they're out of sight. When he eats for his palate and drinks for his head, and laughs for his pleasure, it's time he was dead. A Seed by John Boyle O'Reilly. A kindly act is a kernel's zone, that will grow to a goodly tree, shedding its fruit when time has flown down the gulf of eternity. A Tragedy by John Boyle O'Reilly. A soft-breasted bird from the sea fell in love with a lighthouse flame, and it wheeled round the tower on its airiest wing, and flouted and cried like a lovelorn thing. It brooded all day and it fluttered all night, but could win no look from a steadfast light. For the flame had its heart afar, afar where the ships at sea. It was thinking of children and waiting wives, and darkness and danger to sailors' lives. That bird had its tender bosom pressed on the glass where at last it dashed its breast. The light only flickered, the brighter to glow, as the bird lay dead on the rocks below. A Year by John Boyle O'Reilly. In the spring we see, and the buds are dear to us, amid your bosoms like a lily swell. In the summer we live, and bright eyes are near to us, our sweet stories the false lips tell. In the autumn we laugh, the honey is dripping, deep eyes moisten and soft breasts heave. In the winter we think, with sands fast slipping, we smile and sigh for days we leave. An Art Message by John Boyle O'Reilly. He gathered cherry stones and carved them quaintly, to find semblances of lights and flowers. With subtle skill he even imaged faintly the forms of tiny maids and little towers. As little blocks he loved to file and polish, and ampler means he asked not but despised. All art but cherished stones he would abolish, when his genius would be rightly prized. For such rude hands, as dealt with wrongs and passions, and throbbing hearts he had a pitying smile. Serene with way through surging years and fashion, while heaven gave them his cherished stones and fire. At Best by John Boyle O'Reilly. The faithful helm commands the keel, from port to port where breezes blow. The ship must sail the convex sea, where may she straighter go. So man to man in fair accord, on ford and will the winds may wait, and the world will bend the passing word, though its shortest course be straight. From soul to soul the shortest line at best will bended be. The ship that holds the straightest course still sails the convex sea. At School by John Boyle O'Reilly. The bees sang in the meadows, and the swallows in the sky. The cattle in the shadow watch the river running by. Wheat is hardly stirring where the ox team lags, the dragonflies swirling through the yellow-blossomed flag. And down beside the river where the trees lean out of the pool, where shadows reach the river, a boy has come to school. His teachers are the swallow and the river and the trees, his lessons are the shallows and the flowers and the bees. Conscience by John Boyle O'Reilly. I care not for the outer voice, that deals or praise or blame, I could not let the world rejoice, nor be its doom or shame. And in the voice within me speaks the truth to me as known. He sees himself who inward seeks, the riches are his own. Constancy, by John Boyle O'Reilly. I gave me the key of your heart, my love. When I do you make me knock? Oh, it was yesterday, saints above, and last night I changed the lock. Destiny, by John Boyle O'Reilly. Soldier, why do you shrink from the hiss of a hungry lead? The bullet which whizzes is past, the approaching ball is stump. Stand straight, you cannot shrink from fate. Let it come. A competent front may hear the whist when you are dead. Distance, by John Boyle O'Reilly. The world is large, but its very leagues to loving hearts divide. But the world is small, and your enemy is loose on the other side. Experience, by John Boyle O'Reilly. The world was made when a man was born. He must taste for himself forbidden springs. He can never take warning from old-fashioned things. He must fight as a boy must drink as a youth. For friend of his soul, he must love to scorn. For hints of deceit in woman's eyes, where clear as the wells of paradise. And so it goes on till the world grows old, till his tongue has grown coarse, his heart has grown cold. If a smile leaves his mouth, till a ring leaves his laugh, and he shrieks the bright headache you ask him to quaff. He grows formal with man and with woman polite, and distrustful of both, and they're out of his sight. When he eats for his palate and drinks for his head, and laughs for his pleasure, and 'tis time he's dead. Farewell, John Boyle O'Reilly. Farewell, how hard and how sad is to speak, for the last word of parting, forever to break, fond ties and affection cling round the heart, from home and from friends and from country to part. For it grieves to remember, it's vain to regret, a sad word must be spoken, and memory's spell no steals on me sadly. Farewell, oh farewell. Farewell to thy green hills, thy valleys and plains, my poor blinded country. In excellent chains are the suns doomed to linger. Of God would it spring my children to see, and from Egypt's proud king, you implore thy great mercy, or stretch forth thy hand, and guide back his sons to their poor blighted land. Nevermore thy fair face am I destined to see, e'en with savage love's home, this crime to love we. God bless thee, dear Arian, my loved for my own. Our heart is these tendrils to break would have grown round my heart, just hour, and memory's spell no steers on me sadly. Farewell, oh farewell. Forever, John Boyle O'Reilly. Those who love truly never die. For year by year the sad memorial wreath, ring and flowers, types of life and death, are laid upon their graves. For death a pure life saves, and life while pure is love, or love can reach from heaven to earth, for nobler lessons teach, and those memorials read. Blessed he who has a dear one dead, a friend he has whose face will never change, dear communion, it will not grow strange, the anchor of a love is death. The blessed sweetness of a loving breath reach our cheek, all fresh with very years. For her who died long since wastes not tears, she's wined unto the end. Thank God for one dead friend, the face still radiant with the light of truth, whose love comes laden with scant of youth, for 20 years of death. From that fair land and drear land in the south, by John Boyle O'Reilly. From that fair land and drear land in the south, of which for years I do not cease to think, I brought a tale, learned not by word of mouth, but formed by finding here one golden link, and there another, and of hands unskilled for such fine work, but patient of all pain for love of it, I sought wherefrom to build what might have been at first a goodly chain. It is not golden, no, my craft knows more of working baser metal than of fine, but to those fate-wrought rings of precious old, add these rugged iron links of mine. Her Refrain, by John Boyle O'Reilly. Do you love me? She said. The sky were blue, and we walked where the stream through the branches glistened. I told and retold her my love was true, while she listened and smiled and listened. Do you love me? She whispered. The days were drear, the eyes searched mine with patient yearning. I kissed her, renewing the words so dear, but she listened and smiled, as I slowly learned. Do you love me? She asked. And we sat at rest by the stream and sheltered with autumn glory. Her cheek had been laid as in peace on my breast, but she raised it to ask for the sweet old story. I said, I tell the tale again, that soar by the earth, the stars above me, that hold of at uttermost time should prove fervent faith of my perfect love. And I vowed it and pledged it that naught should move, but she listened and smiled in my face, and then she whispered once more, Do you truly love me? Hidden Sins, by John Boyle O'Reilly. For every sin that comes before the light and leaves an outward blemish in the soul, How many darker come out of sight and go blind and silent like the mole too, with its busy feet, the dig and never-ending cave, or incense gnaw through the soul and meet a feast upon each other in its grave. And buried sin is like a carved stove that spreads and feasts neath a painted face, and opens art can heal it evermore. Only his surgeon's promised grace. Or it's a sin is like the hunter who once warmed the frozen adder with his breath, and he placed it near his heart, it flew with poisoned fangs and stung it hard to death. A sculptor once a granite statue made, one-sided only, just to fit its place. The unseen sight was monstrous, so men shade the evil acts behind his smiling face. Or blind or foolish was her sins to hide, and for so pleading hearts to gull the sip. Or cowards must eat the murdered pride, may smile like a virgin flying lip. A sin admitted is nigh half atoned, and while the fold is red and freshly done, if you but drop our eyes and think it is owned, it is half forgiven, half a crown is won. If we heedless let it reek and rot, then pile a mountain on its grave and turn, and smites to all the world the tainted spot beneath the mound will never cease to burn. Inscription to Western Australia by John Boyle O'Reilly. Nation of sun and sin, where flaws and crimes are red, my heart is silver thin where the glory crowns thy head. Land of the songless birds, what was thine ancient crime, burning for lapse of time like a prophet's cursing birds. A loathsome murn tears mixed in the bitter wine, drink of the cup is thine, drink for the draught is sign of thy reign in the coming years. Liberty by John Boyle O'Reilly. I'm Liberty, God's daughter, my symbol's a law and a talk, I sought to threaten slaughter nor flame to dazzle or scork, or light that the world may see and the truth which shall make man free. I am the sister of duty, and I am the sister of faith. Today adored for my beauty, tomorrow led forth for death. I am she whom ages prayed for, heroes suffered undismayed for, or the martyrs were betrayed for. Life is a confluence by John Boyle O'Reilly. Hunger goes sleeplessly thinking of food. Evil lies painfully yearning for good. Life's a confluence. Nature must move like the heart of a poet toward beauty and love. Love and be wise by John Boyle O'Reilly. Not on the word alone let love depend, never by actions done choose ye the friend. Let the slow years fly, these are the test, never the peering eye open the breast. Psyche one hopeless woe reaching to take, wait till your lilies grow up from the lake. Gather words patiently, harvest the deed, let the winged years fly, sifting the seed. Judging by harmony, learning by strife, seeking in unity precept and life. Seize the supernal, Prometheus dies, take the external and trust, and be wise. Love's Secret by John Boyle O'Reilly. Love found him sitting in a woodland place, Samoa's hand with the golden tresses, and Love looked smiling on a glowing face and moistened eyes upturned to his caresses. Oh sweet, she murmured, life is utter bliss. Dear heart, he said, a golden cup runs over. Drink, love, she cried, and thank the gods for this. He drained the precious lips of cup and lover. Love blessed the kiss, but he wondered whence the mated bosoms heard his benedictions. Love lies within the priming bowl of sense, her cheeks as full as joy, who drains affliction. The heard a rustle as he smiling fled, she reached the hand to pull the roses blowing. He stretched to take the purple grapes o'erhead, Love whispered back, nay, keep the beauties growing. The porcelain understood, that flow alone they took and kept, and Love was smiling over. Where roses bloomed, the cup went briming on, she looked for love within and found a lover. Love was true to me, John Boyle O'Reilly. Love was true to me, true and tender. I who ought to be love's defender, the cold winds blowed, they chilled him. And the winds and snow shrouded him, and I know that I killed him. Years he cried to me to be kind, I was blind to seeing grew blind. Years with soft hands raised, fondly reaching, wrapped and prayed and praised, still beseeching. When he died I woke. God, how lonely, and a grey dawn broke on one only. Now beside love's grave I am kneeling, all his thought and gave, I am feeling. Loving is dreaming by John Boyle O'Reilly. Love's a certainty, death's a doubt. Men may be dead, but we're walking about. Love's as needful to being as breath. Loving is dreaming, and waking is death. Mary by John Boyle O'Reilly. Dear honoured name, beloved of human ties, loved and honoured first, that one was given in living proof to our mortal eyes, though poor earth is near kin to heaven. Sweet word of dual meaning, one of grace and one of our kind advocate both, and one by memory linked to the dear face that blessed my childhood with its mother love, and taught by first a simple prayer to thee, poor banished son of Eve, we send our cries. For mist of years those words recalled to me a childish face upturned to loving eyes. And yet to some the name of Mary bears no special meaning in our gracious power, and the dear word we seek for hidden snares is wasp and poison in the sweetest flower. But faithful hearts can see our doubts and fears, virgin link that binds the Lord to earth, which to the upturned trusting face appears, a more than angel of human birth. The sweet-faced moon reflects on cheerless night, the rays of hidden sun to rise tomorrow. So unseen God still lets his promised light through Holy Mary shine upon our sorrow. Mayflower by John Boyle O'Reilly. Thunder, thanks to her, guns, hearts and lips, cheerful rings to her, shoutful wings to her, Mayflower, foremost and best of our ships. Mayflower writes in the national story with your name in letters of gold, woven in texture that never grows old, winning a home and winning glory, sailing the years to us, welcome for aye, cherished for centuries, dearest to all. Every heart throbs for her, every flag dips, Mayflower, first and last best of our ships. Wide as a seagull she swept the long passage, true as a hummingbird flies with its message. Love her, or richer than silk ever sail of her, trust her, precious and gold every nail of her. Ride we down faithfully every man's part in her, greet we all gratefully every true heart in her. More than a name to us, sailing the fleetest, symbol of wet witches purest and sweetest. More than a keel to us, steering the straightest, emblem of wet witches freest and greatest. More than a dove-bosomed sail to the windward, flame passing on where the night winds fly inward. Kiss every plank of her, none shall take rank of her. Front word or weatherward none can eclipse. Thunder our thanks to her, cheer from the banks to her, Mayflower, foremost and best of our ships. My Mother's Memory by John Boyle O'Reilly. There's one bright star in heaven, ever shining in my night. God to me one guide is given like the sailor's beacon light. Set in every shout of danger, setting out its warning ray to the humble and weary stranger looking for the landlocked bay. My farthest, wildest wanderings have turned me to that laugh, as the diver neath the water turns to watch the light above. My Troubles by John Boyle O'Reilly. I wrote down my troubles every day, a few short years that turned to the heartaches passed away. I read them with smiles, not tears. On his daughter's wedding by John Boyle O'Reilly. There is no joy all set apart from pain, the opening bud is loss as well as gain. A brightest dewdrop gems the bending flower, whereas they are swept one little shower. How do you bless the parting pain and roof, hold and fold the joining love of youth. Peace and Pain by John Boyle O'Reilly. The day and night are symbols of creation, and each has part in all that God has made. There is no ill without its compensation, and life and death are only light and shade. There never beat a heart so base and sordid, but felt at times a sympathetic glow. There never lived a virtue unrewarded, nor died a vice without its meed of woe. In this brief life despair should never reach us. The sea looks wide because the shores are dim. The star that led them Maggie still can teach us the way to go if we but look to him. And as we wait, the darkness closing over us, the hungry waters surging to the chin, our deeds will rise like stepping stones before us, the good and bad, that we may use the sin. The sin of youth, atoned for and forgiven, takes on a virtue if we chose to find. When close across the onward path are driven, we still may steer by its pale light behind. A sin forgotten is in part to pay for, a sin remembered is a constant gain. Sorrow next joy is what we ought to pray for, as next to peace we profit most from pain. Poet and Lord by John Boyle O'Reilly. God makes a poet, touches soul inside, and lips and heart, and sends him forth to sing. As fellows hearing and on with true birthright, crown him daily with the love they bring. The king a lord makes by a parchment leaf, for heart be overwhelmed and for sight be dim, if the not brain and soul of disbelief, aye even so he makes a lord of him. What when of one divinely kissed and sent to fill people with ideal words, who with his poet's crown is discontent, and makes a parchment title with the lords. Rules of a Road with John Boyle O'Reilly. What man would be wise and drink of a river that bears on its bosom a record of time, a message to him the wave can deliver, to teach him to creep till he knows how to climb. Who eats no experience, trusts him not, tell him the scope of one mind can but trifles achieve. Weeks that draws from the mind will excel, and the wealth of mankind is the wisdom we leave. For peace do not hope, to be just you must break it. So work for the minute and not for the year. When it comes to you, be ready to take it, and reach out to seize it before it is near. Be silent and safe, silence never betrays you. Be true to your word and your work and your friend. At least trust in him who is foremost to praise you, not judge of a road till it draw to the end. Stand erect in the way and exalt on the mountain. Take gifts with a sigh, most men give to be paid. I'd is the heartache, I have the fountain. You're worth what you saved and the million you made. Trust toil not intend, or your plans will miscarry. Your wife keep a sweetheart instead of a tease. Rule children by reason, not rot. And mind, marry your girl when you can, and your boy when you please. Steer straight as a wind will allow, but be ready to veer just the point where the travellers pass. Each sees his own star, his stiff course is too steady, when it's one to meeting goes, but one to mass. Our stream's not so wide, but 2 acres may span it. Good neighbor and citizen, these for a code and with truth inside. Every man on the planet is just as much right as yourself to the road. Silence, not death, but John Boyle or Reilly. I start. I have slept for a moment. I have dreamed, sitting here by her chair. How lonely. It was that touched me. What presence, what heaven-sent air. It was nothing you say but a tremble. I hear her. I knew she was near. Felt her breath, felt her cheek on my forehead. Awake or asleep, she was here. It was nothing a dream. Strike with harp string again, still again, till it cries. And at that most treble, still strike, vibrant but silent it dies. Dies just as she died. Go listen, with highest vibration stump. Your sense friend who soon finds the limit and answer when mysteries come. Truth speaks and is senseless of spirit, but here in this palpable part we sound the low notes, but are silent the music sublime in the heart. Too few and too gross so dull senses, and clawed with the mire of a road, to below for coarse bondage, as seabirds encaged on the cliff look abroad on the ocean and limitless heaven, alight with the beautiful stars, and hear what I say, not to cracklings that rise from our sensible bars. O life, let me dream, let the presence be near me, her fragrance, her breath. Let me sleep, if that slumber the seeking sleep on, if the finding be death. Spring flowers, by John Boyle Reilly. O the rare spring flowers, take them as they come. Do not wait for summer buds, they may never bloom. Every sweet today's sense you are wise to save. Roses bloom for pulling, the paths to the grave. The Cry of a Dreamer, by John Boyle Reilly. I'm tired of planning and toiling in the crowded heaps of men, hard weary of building and spoiling and building again. I long for the old river, where I dreamed my youth away, for a dreamer lives forever and a toiler dies in a day. I'm sick of the showy seeming of life that is half a lie, of faces lined with shaming in the throng that hurries by, from sleepless thoughts a day that would go where the children play, for a dreamer lives forever and a thinker dies in a day. I can feel no pride but pity for the burdens the rich endure. There is nothing sweet in the city but the patient lives of the poor. Oh, the little hands too skilful, and the child mind choked with weeds. The daughter's heart grows wilful, and the father's heart that bleeds. No, no, from the streets rude bustle, from the trophies of mart and stage, I would fly to the woods, and I would rustle into the meadow's kindly page. Let me dream as of old by the river, and be loved for the dream alway. For a dreamer lives forever, and a toiler dies in a day. The Dead Who Died for Ireland, by John Boyle Reilly. The dead who died for Ireland, of these are living words to nerve the hearts of patriots, to steel avenging swords, who fill their souls unspoken, and lowly bend the head in reverence of memories of all our Melford dead. The dead who died for Ireland, the noble ones, the best, who gave their lives for motherland, who poured upon her breast in freedom's cause the blood she gave, who with their dying breaths sent praise to God to heal her woes, and sealed their love and death. The dead who died for Ireland, hollow out our graves, of all the memories fresh and green. Oh, how could we be slaves? How could we patient clang the chain? How could we fawn and bow? How could we crouch like mongrels, and even keep us frowning brow? Be proud, ye men of Ireland, be proud of those who died. Never man or all the earth a greater cause for pride. Hope and strive, and league for freedom, and again the souls will rise of the dead who died for Ireland, to cheer you to the prize. The Infinite, by John Boyle Reilly. The infinite always is silent, it is only the finite speaks. The words are the idle wave caps, and the deeps that never breaks. The questions of want of science explain, decide and discuss, but only in meditation the mystery speaks to us. The Old School Clock, by John Boyle Reilly. 'Twas a quaint old clock with a quaint old face and great iron ways and chain. It stopped when it liked, and before it struck, it creaked as if 'twere in pain. I had seen many years, and it seemed to say, "I'm one of real old stock." The youthful fry who with reverence looked on the face of the old school clock. What a terrible frown the old clock wore to the true and timidly cast an anxious eye on those merciless hands, as if they might be moving too fast. But its frown soon changed, for it loved to smile on the thoughtless, noisy flock, and it creaked on the world and struck with glee, did the genial, good-humoured old clock. The years that passed, my friend was filled with the world, its cares and ways, and again I stood in that little school where I passed my boyhood days. My old friend was gone, and there hung a thing that my soul seemed to mock, and I gazed with a tear at my softened heart at a new-fashioned Yankee clock. It's the way of the world, old friends pass away and fresh faces arise in their stead, but still mid the din and bustle of life we cherish fond thoughts of the dead. Yes, dearly those memories cling round my heart, and bravely withstand time's rude shock. Not one is more great or more hollow to me than the face of that old school clock. Real good, John Boyle O'Reilly. What is a real good? Asked in a musing mood. Order, said the law court. Knowledge, said the school. Truth, said the wise man. Pleasure, said the fool. Love, said the maiden. Beauty, said the page. Freedom, said the dreamer. Home, said the sage. Fame, said the soldier. Equity, said the seer. Spake my heart fully said, the answer is not here. When within my bosom softly this I heard, each heart holds the secret, kindness is the word. The Shadow, John Boyle O'Reilly. There's a shadow on the sunny wall, dark and forbidding, like a body of ill. Go drive with vents, alas such shadows fall from real things, nor may be moved to will. There's a shadow in my heart today, a cloudy grief condensing to a tear. Alas, I cannot drive its gloom away, some sinner so casts the shapeless fear. The useless ones, by John Boyle O'Reilly. Poets should not reason, let them sing, argument is treason, bell should ring. Statements none nor questions, economic words, with Christ suggestions like the birds. He may use deduction, who must preach, he may praise instruction, who must teach. But the poet duly fills his part, and the song bursts truly from his heart. For no purpose springing, for no path, he must do the singing for itself. And lines austerely let him build, not for service merrily let him gild. Fearless, uninvited, like a spring, open words enlightened let him sing. As the leaf grows sunward, song must grow, as the stream flows onward, song must flow. Useless high for measure, roses die, and the breath gives pleasure, God knows why. The Value of Gold, by John Boyle O'Reilly. There may be standard weight for precious metal, but deeper meaning it must ever hold. Thank God there are some things no law can settle, and one of these the real worth of gold. The stamp of king or crown is common power, to hold the traffic value and control. Our cause our senses note this worth lower, higher comes from senses of the soul. This truth we find not in mere warehouse learning, the value varies from the hands that hold. Worth depends upon the mode of earning, this man's copper equal that man's gold. Of empty heart and forward lined with scheming, man's sin and sorrow have been that man's gain. At this man's heart with rich emotions teeming, makes fine the gold for which he coins the brain. A richer still than gold from upright labour, the only gold that should have standard price, is the poor earning for a humble neighbour, whose every coin is red with sacrifice. Mere store of money is not wealth, but rather proof of poverty and need of bread. Like man himself is the bright gold they gather, it may be living or it may be dead. It may be filled with love and life and vigour, to guide the warrior and to cheer the way. It may be corpse-like in its weight and rigour, bending the bearer to his native clay. There is no comfort but in outward showing, and always a real homage paid to dross. Better to heart and soul the silent knowing, our little store is not been gained by loss. There's blood on the earth, by John Boyle O'Reilly. There's blood on the face of the earth, it reeks through the years and is red. The truth was slaughtered at birth, and the veins of liberty bled. Lo, then is the hand that tries to cover the crimson stain. It spreads like a plague, and cries like a soul in riving pain. It wasteth the planet's flesh, it calleth on breasts of stone. God holdeth his wrath in a leash, till the hearts of men atone. Blind like creatures of time, cursed like all race, their answer, the blood and crime belong to a sect and place. What are these things to heaven, races or places of men? A world through when Christ was forgiven, no question of races when. The wrong of today should be rued in 1,000 coming years. The debt must be paid in blood, the interest in tears. Shall none stand up for right when the evil passes by? But God had the globe in sight, and hearkens the weak one's cry. Never principle dies, thy principles never die, whenever a ruler lies, and the people share the lie. Their right is crushed by force, and men are striking dead. There dwelleth the ancient curse, and the blood on the earth is red. Though it lash the shallows that line the beach, but John Boyle O'Reilly. Though it lash the shallows that line the beach, afar from the great sea deeps, there's never a storm whose might can reach where the vast Leviathan sleeps. Like a mighty thought and quiet mind, in the clear cold depths he swims, whilst above from the pettiest form of his kind, the dash of the surface skims. There's peace and power, the men who speak with the loudest tongues to least, and the surest sign of a mind that is weak is its want of power to rest. It is only the lighter water that flies from the sea on a windy day, and the deep blue ocean never replies to the sibilant voice of a spray. Today, John Boyle O'Reilly. Only from day to day the life of a wise man runs. What matter if a season far away of gloom or have double suns? To climb the unreal path we stray from the roadway here, we swim rivers of wrath and tunnel the hills of fear. Our feet on the torrents bring our eyes from the cloud afar. We hear the things we think instead of the things that are. Like a tide or work should rise, each letter wake the best. Today is a king in disguise, today is a special test. Like a swayer's worker's life, the present makes the flaw, and the only field for strife is the inch before the saw. To my dear old friend, John Boyle O'Reilly, not many friends wish I you. Love makes amends for the few. Slight bonds are best for the new. Here's the test for true. Pay to your friend your own due, loan to the end, through and through. Let him commend and not you. Friends of his kind, tried and true, may you, friend, find just a few. Two Lives by John Boyle O'Reilly. Two youths from a village set out together to seek their fortune the wide world through. One cried, "Hurrah for the autumn weather!" The other sighed, "Winter's almost due." One failed, they said, for he never was thrifty, returned to the village and laughed and laughed. The other succeeded, and when he was 50, had millions and fame, and the world approved. And the failure was happy as minor blessing, the dogs and the children roamed at his feet. But from him who succeeded, though much possessing, the little one shrank when the dance to meet. And purchased respect by his lordly giving, the other won love by his loving ways. If either had doubts of his way of living, it wasn't the one of humble days. They never knew it, both were teachers of deep life secrets, these the village youths. One of a school, the facts are preachers, the other of a world that worships truths. Under the River by John Boyle O'Reilly. Clear and bright from the snowy height, the joy streamed to the plain descended. Rich sands of gold were washed and rolled to the turbid marsh where its pure life ended. From stained snow to the moor below, the heart like the brook has a waning mission, though the dream in life's sluggish stream is the golden sand of a young ambition. Under the Surface by John Boyle O'Reilly. I smile as you will with your saintly face, but I know the line of your guard is as weak as a maze of lace. You may give no sign that the devil is never far to seek, and rotten peach has a lovely cheek. As they come in the stream, I say to you, the lives we jostle are none of them true. Who seeks with the limb and glass may find a nature of honor from cord to rind, but woe to the heart that is formed so true. It may not wreck, and it still must rue the perjured lip and the bleeding woe. God keeps blind to the things we know, to the ghastly scars for these eyes, the occult law of the worldly wise. Unspoken Words by John Boyle O'Reilly. The kindly words that rise from the heart and thrilled with a sympathetic tone, are they outspoken if they to play their part, and claim a merit that is not their own. The kindly word unspoken is a sin, its sin that wraps itself in purest guise, and tells the heart that doubting looks within, yet not in speech but thought of virtue lies. But it is not so, and ever heart may thirst for the kind word, as Hagar in the wild who vanished Hagar, prayed a well might burst from out the sand to save a parching child, and loving eyes that cannot see the mind will watch the expected movement of a lip. Can we let its cutting silence wind around that heart and escape it like a whip? Unspoken words, like treasures in the mine, are valueless until they give them birth. Like unfound gold, the hidden beauty shine, which God has made to bless and kill the earth. How sad would be to see a master's hand strike lowest notes upon a voiceless lute. Like what pain then at God's own command a heartstring fret of kindness, but is mute. then hide it not. The music of a soul, this sympathy expressive kindly voice, and it like a shining river roll to deserts dry, to hearts that would rejoice, and let the sympathy of kindly words sound for the poor, the friendless, and the weak. And he will bless you, he who struck with chords, will strike another when in turn you seek. Waiting for John Boyle O'Reilly. He's coming, my throbbing breast I feel it. There's music in my blood, and whispers all day long, my love unknown comes toward me. Ah, my heart, I need not steal it, for I cannot hide the secret that murmurs in its song. Our sweet bursting flowers, how they open, never blushing, laying bare their fragrant bosoms to the kisses of sun. Words, the fortress poets only read the tender gushing, and I hear their pleading stories, and I know them every one. He's coming, says my heart, I raise my eyes and greet him, and meet him any moment, shall know him when I see. My heart loves back the answer, I can tell him when I meet him, for eyes will kiss and mingle ere he speaks a word to me. Oh, I'm longing for his coming, and without my arms not reaching to hasten you, my love. See, I lay my bosom bare. Of a night when I shudder, my hands are raised beseeching. It wails the light of death, sighs past me in the air. Written in a Portrait of Keats by John Boyle O'Reilly. A godlike face of human love and will and tender fancy traced on every line. A godlike face, but oh, human still, dear Keats, who love the gods where love is wine. Yes, John Boyle O'Reilly. Words of the lips are double or single, true or false as we say or sing. Words of the eyes that mix and mingle, always saying the same old thing. Yesterday and tomorrow by John Boyle O'Reilly. Joys have three stages: hoping, having, and had. Veins of hope are empty, and the heart of having is sad. For joy we take, and the taking dies. The joy we had is its ghost. Now which is the better? The joy unknown, or the joy we have clasped and lost?